morning, everybody. Let's go fishing.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to mix things up a little bit and talk about some gear first. In this case, fishing reels. And a little bit about the drag. And then we're going to close up with some clear, cold fishing where the trout were scarce, but the whitefish bite was on. Hope you enjoyed the conversation and the scenery.
Hey everybody, thought I'd take a few minutes here today to go through some of the reels that I use when I'm fly fishing. You know, you can spend a whole lot of money on fly fishing reels. You can spend up to $900 on some of them and as little as 30 or 40 bucks. And I thought I'd spend a few minutes going through what I've used, what works for me. I certainly have not used the $900 reels, but I'm sure they're delightful. And I've asked people that I respect in fly fishing, you know, what are you getting for the extra money? And so there are some differences, and I've come to appreciate quality reels probably about as much as anything of my fly fishing gear. On the low end, and you'll see these are all Orvis reels. I just happen to use a bunch of them. I do have some other ones that I use, but these are 3 different price points for Orvis that I thought I'd share with you. And this one here is the Encounter reel. They don't sell this anymore on a standalone basis. They used to. This one's actually a resin and cast iron kind of deal. So it's got resin parts, cast iron, probably cast aluminum, if I had to guess. But you can see that the difference between a cast reel and a machined reel is the way they look. This machined reel is nice and shiny because it's actually milled from solid pieces of metal, whereas this one is poured into a mold. So anyway, this Encounter reel is pretty straightforward. They've all got the same kinds of things on them, but this would be their low price point, somewhere in that $40, $50 range. The next model up here is this is a Clearwater reel, if I'm not mistaken, and there it is. It says right there, Clearwater. And this is also a cast reel. It's not a machined reel, it's a cast reel. And I think what I'd show you is the difference is the tolerances. If I look at this, if I shake this, I can feel the reel moving. And you can probably hear that clicking. That's the space in between it. In fact, when I pulled this reel out of the bag, some of the line had actually slipped in between this little line here. This is where the spool connects, and had gotten caught in there. And you can see that actually in here. You can see how this fine line that I'm using, this is my cider line for my Euro nymph setup, actually has slipped in between the space here. So even though this is a notch up from this one, they still have the same tolerance issue with a cast reel. This is my machined reel. This is the Bat and Kill. This happens to be a size 2, which I'm using for my Euro rod as well. And I don't know if you can tell, but that ain't budging. That's a much finer tolerance, and you can do that when you're machining a reel. Again, I think this is probably in the $130 range, right? If this is $40, $50, this is probably in the $80 range, and this is kind of in that $130 range. And then, of course, Orvis has other lines as well, but that's a big difference. I think it's tolerances are the difference here, and that's a big deal for that perspective. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about the drag systems for these reels. These are all going to be fairly similar, and these guys make a pretty good drag, but it is worth paying attention to. There are some lesser known models out there, and where they might save some money. Not only you're not going to get a machined, you're going to get a cast reel, but you're also going to get a drag system that is, well, maybe not quite up to snuff. And I discovered this the hard way when I was fishing on a river, and I thought maybe I'd just demonstrate what happens when your drag system gives way and you have that kind of happens when your drag system fails. You get this incredible rat's nest, and now you're trying to figure that out and sort that back. Now you're trying to sort that back in, and you can see as I pull this out here, it gets pretty, and there you go. Now you got your first jam, and now you're on the river, and everything's all botched up because your drag system failed. So obviously you're going to want to have a drag system that is well connected and is well made. There are a bunch of different kinds, but most of them are disc drag systems. Most of them are sealed these days, so you don't have to worry about dirt and sand and salt water getting into them. But I would say that that's an important part to know about your reel when you're buying. When I did that test here, the line actually got caught in between there. Remember I was talking about how cast reels have a little more give, and sometimes that's what happens. Sure, the line got caught in there, so that's something you're gonna have to pop off. And look at that mess. Holy cow, that's what I got to go figure out. At any rate, drag system, kind of important. Okay, well, I knew they were in there. There was enough structure. Of course, I don't have my net, so we'll see what this is. Try not to horse it too badly. Try to get him where I can tail him, but I have a feeling he's not ready yet. Soft splash of silver, hoping. Ooh, it's got some size to him, my friends. Let's hope he's not a whitefish, but you know, could be. Fishing 5X here, gotta be a little careful. In fact, yeah. Let's step back a little bit here. Get out of the tree cover. Get him into some shallow. Whoa. That looks like a whitefish, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, it's a fish. It's a good sized whitefish for these parts. Well. There we go. All right, well, whitefish means I'm going down to the bottom. Means the water's clean, healthy river. So you know what? We'll take that. Call that a victory. Get untangled here, and well, we're going back for more. Hopefully different